Let me see. So this is, I don't want to say it is 100% 2 hours. If we go to 2 hours, it's okay. But the last time I presented this the other day, it was an hour and a half, and then we did some questions afterwards. Okay. So let's get rolling here. In the chat, I'm actually going to put my email. So we are starting a brand new marketing system. Well, we've had it for a couple months now, but we're starting a new initiative next month on January 1st, where you guys will get communication from us through Flow Desk. It's FLO and then desk.com, but this is the email that it will be coming from. So support@agentwisedesign.com. But there, you guys are all already customers for Agent Wise Design. So there, you guys will get updates of, what we've loaded, what's kind of going on for the month, different specials maybe we're running, different, objects like that. So just make sure you guys unblock that email, okay? So 2026, I'm really excited to get rolling into this new year. This has been one heck of a year, I'm sure for many of you as well. When you guys are up, we're up. When you're down, we're trying to pick up the pieces and bring everybody back up, okay? So that's how my business operates. And again, if you don't know who I am, this is your first time jumping on one of these calls. My name is Ashley. I'm the owner and founder of SureLink Marketing. That's the name of our company. And Agent Wise Design is a product that you all have access to, where you have all the templates and you can do your marketing and all the fun things in between. So, if you've been on any of my calls, I put quotes in all of my presentations, but I love this one. Your only limitations are those you set upon yourself, and you should believe in your infinite potential. Um, when I got started in real estate 17 years ago, I've been in this industry for that long already, which is crazy. But when I started, somebody told me, he was like, the sky's the limit. I know we hear that all the time, but it truly is the limit when you're dealing within this industry. I'm sure you see some people, they are doing 60, 70, 80, 100 transactions a year. Some people are doing less than that, and that's okay. But I just want you to understand that nobody is holding you back but yourself, okay? There are some circumstances where maybe somebody has more money and this and that, but when it comes to marketing, you guys are all on the same playing field, same level of playing field when it comes to social media marketing. And I'm so glad that you guys are all on that same level because you have, like I said, sky's the limit. All right, so we're going to talk a lot about consistency today. So the secret to any business, not just real estate, but consistency helps realtors build momentum within the algorithm and increases your visibility and your reach over time. By following a routine, which we're going to talk about as well quite often, you can strategically showcase your listings, market your insights, your personal touches, and create a balanced professional presence, okay? This discipline not only enhances your credibility, but also encourages ongoing engagement, making it easier to attract and convert your leads into clients. So, like I said, we're going to talk a lot about consistency today, talk a lot about having a routine and being disciplined. When you are a real estate agent, I don't know what, industry you came from before this, but more than likely you had a boss, okay? Or you had a manager and somebody said, hey, you need to clock in, hey, you need to do this. When you are in a 1099 or an entrepreneur, you really are your own boss, okay? So it takes a lot of effort to be disciplined. It takes a lot of effort to follow a routine. So I want you guys kind of putting your focus in 2026 on going back to your systems. If you don't already have a system or you don't already have a plan in place, this is the time, get through the holiday and take those last couple days to really carve out your routine. Like, what is your systems? What time do you wake up in the morning, so on and so forth, okay? Um, Now, why should you post on social media? So again, remember, we are giving you guys the tools to do your own marketing. And then you have somebody on here like Linda Crisp. She's about to get started with us for marketing because she's like, hey, my time is better spent doing X, Y, Z, But I just want you all to know, I really truly believe that you all can post on social media. It just takes that that dedication, again, putting it into your routine and finding that time, right? But why should you post on social media? So it is essential for you guys going forward because it helps you build your brand. Okay, helps you connect with potential clients, past clients. It showcases your expertise in the real estate market. And it showcases too, like your local knowledge. When we do our posting for our clients, we're not just posting pretty houses and we're like, hey, check me out, like I'm selling this house, or check out this 123 Main Street. We're actually focusing and honing in on that local market as well. I can't tell you how many times our clients have come up to us or message us or whatever, saying that somebody came up to them at the market or at church and said, hey, so and so, I love what you're posting. I follow you because of this, right? And the client calls me like, gosh, I had no idea what you guys posted today. But it shows that basically like we're being consistent for our client, and they're a little bit more detailed than just saying, hey, look at this house. So, social media platforms offer a cost effective way to market your properties, share success stories, and provide valuable content such as home buying tips, your market updates. I know I've reached out to like every single client for that recently, which helps engage your followers. Okay. It also allows realtors to create a personal connection with their audience by sharing your journey, your client testimonials, again, community involvement, which helps establish your trust and your credibility. Consistent and strategic posting can significantly expand a realtor's reach, generate leads, and ultimately grow your business. And so, honestly, you guys, like I want everybody to understand this. You're helping people buy and sell their largest asset, okay? So you have to understand that they're going to Google, they're going to research you, okay? I am looking for, Linda Crisp online, and I'm thinking about hiring her to sell, and I know everybody's bio, and I get it. It's like I'm a marketing genius and I do this, I do that. Well, guess what? If they go and research you and your marketing looks bad and or it's non-existent, that's not true, right? So I want you to understand that they're going to research you, okay? And hey, Landis, I see you got your hand up. I don't know if you meant to do that or there.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Good morning. I was just wanting to make sure I was in the right room. Is this the guard contract changes class?
Nope, that's not me.
Okay, that's what it said on my Everbright. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Thank you. And
No
on
worries.
my Eventbrite. Okay. Bye
No.
bye.
Nope, that's not me. So I just want you guys to understand again, I cannot drill this through. When we post for our clients, at least we're posting Monday through Friday, on all the platforms. And I really think you guys should do the same thing, okay? Every single day, get something out there. Now, the types of content, we're going to get into that here in a second. But as I mentioned earlier, consistency is key. So people ask me all the time, they're like, what time is the best time to post? Okay. And yes, you got to think about when you're scrolling online. I know this is such a bad habit, but I get up in the morning and I open up Facebook, or I get up in the morning and I check out Instagram. I'm trying to get better by maximizing my time, and at least if I'm going to do that, do something productive with it. But you have to understand when you're posting, people are checking their phones in the morning, people are checking their phone around lunchtime, and then people are scrolling on their phone in the evening, right? So truly, you don't want to just like randomly post at 11 o'clock in the morning. But that is not to say that I don't want you to do that, because we want you to just be consistent overall. Okay, so if you don't get your first post out for whatever reason till 11, that's fine, but just understanding the algorithm, you want to get it out when people are scrolling on their phones. So whether that's the morning and maybe it's lunchtime, or like I said, early evening. Okay. You should post your activity as it's necessary. So, community events, your branded posts, which is stuff like your testimonials, your market updates, and your industry related content. Um, I see a lot of people For whatever reason, they will screenshot Zillow or they'll screenshot their realtor.com testimonials, or maybe they're paying for a company called like Reach 150 and those types of companies that gather your testimonials. I want you guys to know we're building actually right now 50 different ones, but in there right now we have at least 50 different testimonial templates. So if you're thinking, okay, well, all 1,600 of us have access to this membership, you're not all going to look the same, I promise you, unless you all pick the same template, post the same time, you know what I mean? You all have different audiences. So don't feel, I guess, strayed that you're going to look like your colleagues, but we want you guys copy and pasting your testimonials into the templates or however you do it and getting them out there. Now, market updates, I just put a call actually to quite a few of our clients and said, hey, I noticed we don't do a market update for you once a month. Would you like that? And some actually wrote back and said no. Some we're going to start incorporating that. But I would say most of our clients do a market update once a month. And that again is just to showcase that your credibility, like you understand, or not your credibility, but your knowledge of the market, right? You understand what's going on in your market. And so the local board will put numbers out there. Of course, you can pull your own numbers. Maybe Alan and each brokerage, maybe they put the numbers out there. But irregardless, you guys, we have so many nice branded templates that you could go and plug and play, essentially. So when you're inside Agent Wise Design, it is literally a category that says market updates, and you just plug and play, put your information. Um, I really am trying to push a lot of our clients this year to video. I think video is just it's been very, very important. But with all of this AI and AI making video easier, a lot of agents are taking advantage of that. I know a lot of people don't want to put their face out there and put their, whatever out there. I mean, I get it, but just understand your competition's doing that, okay? And I feel like a market update, that is something you should be able to clearly, definely talk about, right? And then, of course, other industry related content, like why you should stage your home and, just all the different blurbs. We have thousands of posts like that, okay, where you would go and put your brand on it. I also get asked often about the third-party sites, and as much as I love Canva, you guys know I'm a huge fangirl of Canva, but I don't agree with the third-party sites. Okay, so after this call, if you don't already have it, I think I've sent it out before, but I will send you guys again a video on how to schedule your post through Meta. Okay. Because what happens with the third parties, they're there for a reason, basically to just say, hey, we can bulk all of your posts together. But honestly, you guys, Facebook owns Instagram at this point. So when we post on Facebook, it goes to Instagram. Or some people feed their Instagram to their Facebook, right? And then the only one that we personally log in for our clients is LinkedIn, okay? But there's even apps that we can do that, but we just don't want the third party. You're just basically, how would I say this? You're just not getting the most bang for your buck as far as reaching the algorithm when you use a third party site. Okay, but if you feel the need that you still are paying for Buffer or Hootsuite or whatever, trust me, we've used them over the years as well. I have noticed that our clients are getting more engagement and they're reaching more people by using Facebook's actual scheduling tool. Okay, um, number 4, using a template, or what we call in the marketing world batch content creation. So I've already taught you all this class. So I'm sure Alan has it recorded somewhere. So if you need to go back and watch that, but we've already taught you guys how to do this. So inside of our membership, you've got 20 templates per thread. We want you going through and doing all 20 at one time, and then go and schedule your marketing when you have that free time. Maybe you're sitting at an open house. Maybe you actually time block, maybe once a week or even twice a month, okay? Whatever it is, again, I truly, truly think that you guys should be batching your content. All right, so now time management. I could talk for hours and hours about this, um, but I'm one of those people where I had something really bad happen to me where I had to have that come to Jesus moment with myself, my business partners, my husband, my family, and everybody that was just surrounding me. I am a workaholic, okay? I think a lot of you out there, I'm sure in this business, it's so involved where we don't realize we're working 12, 13, 14-hour days, but we are, okay? And so something really bad happened to me in 20 and when I was 27, yeah. I ended up going by ambulance and basically I was just burned out. I had what you call tachycardia, and then it turned into AFib, unfortunately, now that I have to take medicine. But for the longest time, you guys, I was running my business into the ground. I was so busy. I thought, oh, this is great. I'm getting all these people calling me. I'm getting all these clients, this and that. And I only had like 2 employees at the time. We now have 8. But I had to really kind of come to myself and say, all right, I can do all these different, facets of my business, but I'm just one person. You are all just one person, okay? So it is extremely crucial. One, you don't get sick. Two, you're going to put money or put some time, back into your life, put some money back in your pocket because you'll actually be growing the right way. So when you understand time management, you understand scaling your business, and outsourcing and doing all the things, I promise you, things are going to just start falling into place, okay? But let's talk about time management, okay? So treating your business like a business in the nicest way possible. I almost want to shake some of these real estate instructors or these real estate schools when they give you your license. They're not actually saying, "Hey, you're now a small business owner." They're saying, "Go hang your license." The broker's going to promise you the moon and the stars. Okay, um, you have to still treat your business like a business, okay? And so most realtors, you guys don't fail because you're bad at real estate. They fail because they treat their business like a hobby, waking up, waiting to feel motivating and letting the day happen to them, okay? Instead of having it happen for you, you're just sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. That is not going to cut it in 2026, okay? We have to be proactive. We have to manage our time, manage our stress, outsource. I mean, there's so many different things we could talk about this, okay? But again, top producers, they don't feel motivated every day. They're just simply consistent. There are some days too, you guys, where like my hair is in a what you call a mom clip today. I did not have enough time to go straighten my hair for 30, 40 minutes because I had call after call after call. And some days my days look like that. Okay. So you got to pick your battles. But it's like I don't feel every single day like, oh, I'm going to go do this. I do not feel that way every single day. So if you see these people and you follow these big, gurus and all that in the real estate world, and they're like just shooting you a bunch of crap, you have to find that within you, okay? And you just have to show up anyways, okay? So people, when they run their business with discipline and structure, and even on the days when it's inconvenient, okay? And discipline, so there are certain things that like I know that I need to do every single day. Like I actually wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning every single day. That is well before my daughter wakes up, well before my husband wakes up. I know I've got about 2.5 hours before, this the chaos in the morning. Okay. I have to do certain things first thing in the morning, but I'm also very disciplined. I know I have to go to bed around 9:30 every single day. And then when you have structure in your business, again, just laying out like what you're going to do every single day and sticking to it, that's going to help you grow, and help you put some more time back in your life. So when it comes to time management, when I meet with somebody, and they really say to me, Ashley, like, I need this to work. Like, I really need to grow my business. I need to do that. I actually slow them down for a second and I'm like, look, how many days a week or how many, days a month are you doing admin work? How many hours a day are you focusing on Canva? How many hours are you doing this and doing that? You would be shocked how many people are, just blowing time. Okay. So we want you guys to go back to that drawing board again, maybe take it after the holidays, enjoy this week. But really seriously take about an 8-hour admin day. Look at your systems, look at what time you wake up in the morning. Like, what are you doing every single day to move the needle? Okay. So again, you cannot grow if you're constantly reacting. You grow when you act first. Okay. So again, don't let the day happen, to you. Make things happen yourself. So real estate success comes from being deliberate. So being diligent with your time, focusing on income producing activities. We're going to talk about those. Building out your systems, your habits, and your routines, and treating every day like you have a boss because you are the boss. If you want predictable income, you need predictable actions, and consistency compounds. So when you're consistent, you spend your time on what actually moves that needle and your entire business shifts. So again, being diligent with your time. I would say our top producers. I don't want to name them, but I promise you guys, I actually have quite a few. I ended up getting one lady in Dallas, Texas. She's one of the top 100 in the whole country. And then she sent her friends to me, so I have quite a few top agents in the country. And I will say the things that I have noticed with their habits, just the way that they run their business, they are very diligent with their time. Whether it's them or their team, they do prospecting at a very certain time of day every day between 8 and 10. Some of them do 7 to 9, so like they're actually on the phone at 7 o'clock in the morning. Whatever it is that I'm not going to call anybody at 7 o'clock in the morning, but whatever works for you, again, you have to be diligent with your time. We're going to talk about, again, these income producing activities and not distractions. And then your system. So when we're talking about systems, CRM is a whole nother class, but you guys, Alan, if you don't mind, what CRM are you guys using again? If it's Chime or
It's Bold Trail,
mm,
KV
okay.
Core.
Yeah, so KV
Yeah.
Core. So I know KV Core pretty well. Honestly, you guys, it's one of the top five CRMs out there in the market. There's hundreds of them, so that's saying quite a bit. But take the time, whether it's training in the office, whether it's training with KV Core, Bold Trail on their own. Take the time to understand how powerful this CRM is. I could tell you just from the lead gen standpoint, we run ads for a living. I could tell you that our clients are converting when you have a good system in place. So when we're talking about building out your systems, I want you guys all to write this down, okay? You all have KV Core, whether you're using that or using something else, you have access to a good system. So write this down. I want you to look at the drip emails that are inside that system, and I actually want you to either keep them and tailor them or completely change them. But I want you to take a moment to read them, okay? That is literally number one. I also want you to understand all of the different add-ons that you can do with KV Core, like for example, auto texting, auto like sign in. There's all different kinds of things within that. So I want you to understand what else your CRM does, okay? And then I want you guys to start thinking about the different campaigns that you would run inside the system and or on Facebook. So for example, we will run, I'm going to use Florida for an example. We'll run for an agent down here, pool homes in Cape Coral, Florida under 500,000, right? So I want you to start thinking of the different campaigns that you're going to run. And I want you to either use ChatGPT or come up on your own, but I want you to have different drip emails per scenario. So take that, it's going to take you maybe about 2 hours to start setting that up. Keep them in a Google Drive, keep them in a Dropbox, whatever it is. But I want you to take that moment. Please read those drip emails. Most of them are garbage. So you don't want to send garbage out to people. You don't want to be hounding people, and you don't want to sound annoying to people. Okay. So I personally, like when our clients will run an ad, that first drip email out, honest to God, you guys, is a video. It's like, hey, I'm Alan Richardson with, MX1, da, da, da. Thank you so much for stopping by my website, right? That is that first email out, because now you're getting that personal touch, the face to the name, the whole 9 yards, okay? Now, so building out your systems. Another system that you may want to build out this year is your posting system. So again, if you need to go back and watch the batching your content, some agents also will build like a content calendar, which I totally understand that too. If we could figure out how to build it where it's just like one calendar where it, kind of fits all, we would do that. That's kind of what that content strategy is. That's my calendar in my head that I put out for you guys. And if you didn't notice, every single day it's like either a buyer or a seller or general or local. I'm basically rotating the different types of topics So if you want to use that system, but build out what you're going to do. So some of you may like recipes. Right? Maybe put a recipe out once a week. Some of you may really hone in on those local businesses where you got a couple of reels that you want to go shoot around town and keep them stored in your phone or whatever, right? So just plan out your marketing efforts well in advance in time, okay? Um, I would say another system is like, what do you do when you have a buyer? What is your system? What are the steps that you take? What do you send them? What do you say on the phone? How often do you touch them? That is quite literally its own little system too. So you could put it on a Google Doc. Like when I get a buyer, or when I get a buyer lead, or when I get a buyer, those are two totally different things, actually. A lead, and then when you actually have the buyer. So what is your system? Same thing for seller. Another system I would say is, just the referral partners. Like when you get a lead from a referral partner out of state or out of town, what do you do for follow up? Okay. I will tell you this, and I'm hoping that it's going to go well. But I have a client, she's been with me about 8 years, 7 or 8 years now. Her name is Amanda. And, anyways, they do about 70 transactions every year, like for sure. I think she did a little bit more than that this year, but half of them are her referral partners. Okay. And we put a huge plan in place where she sends like little gifts or whatever, and she just keeps getting referrals. So that's something you might want to think about. Okay. All right, so now these 10 income producing activities that you should do every day, and this is by no means the perfect list. You can totally add more to this. You don't have to do all 10, but here are some of the top income producing activities. So lead follow up, so speed to lead, so calling or texting back every warm lead within minutes and not hours, right? So again, with KV Core and just all these different systems and AI platforms and this and that, there's so much, it's overwhelming. But let's just stick with KV Core for now. There is an option where you can have auto text turned on in your system. So you might have to call them, you might have to upgrade it, whatever it is. But I promise you guys, I feel like it's 3 or 4 cents a text message. So yes, it could add up, but it's going to save you. What if you're on the road? What if you're driving? And you can't get to that lead for like hours later, but okay, for 3 or 4 cents you just had a touch to them, right? So it kind of makes sense of that. But the lead follow-up, and then again, your income producing activities, if you are not using your CRM, you guys, that is the brain of your business. So anytime you have an open house, or anytime you get a new contact, anytime that it's a client's birthday, this is the information that is stored inside your CRM, and you should be looking at your spread every day, I guess, if you will. Okay. So maybe like Linda has a client that their birthday is tomorrow, and she can put together a quick little post or a text that she can schedule out for tomorrow, so she remembers to tell her client happy birthday, or an email or whatever. But again, this is also where you're going to store the information when you get new leads, and so you're following up appropriately. So Alan, I haven't used it for a while. Jimmy's a little bit more in depth with it, but from my knowledge or from my remembrance, there is a way where they can basically like schedule tasks, right? Like let's just say they got a lead, and like, oh, I got to follow up with that lead in 2 weeks, something
Yeah,
like that.
there's multiple ways. You can schedule it in there. You can add reminders, and it can also be part of your smart plans.
Okay. Okay, good. So So when you guys get, like a lead from an open house, or you get a lead from Facebook or whatever it is, I don't want you guys writing it down on a piece of paper, on a piece of paper, and just like forgetting about it. We all get the CRS. I do it too. But again, you have to be structured and you have to be diligent. So maybe if you're so used to writing it on paper, start writing these things in your phone, in your notes, and then transfer those notes to your CRM when you get that moment, right? But whatever it is, just make sure that you are putting that stuff into your CRM, because every single day, again, there's different ways, right? Like some people, we're going to talk about, prospecting, all that. Some people cold call, some people have dialers, some people call expires. Like that's the normal. is the normal opening up your CRM and making sure you're touching base with people. And it drives me absolutely crazy when we send an agent. I'm sure Alan can feel me on this. When we send an agent leads and then the agent's like, oh, I followed up. And, then I start asking the hard questions. How often did you follow up? Oh, I texted them. And I'm like, when? I don't know, like a month ago. What? A month ago, right? You guys want to have at least 15 touches before you call anything a dead lead. A touch could be a drip email, a text, a call again. You know what I mean? Rotate it until they tell you to kick rocks or they tell you, hey, I'm coming to town. Don't call these leads dead leads, okay? So, again, following up on your leads. Now, nurturing past clients in your sphere. So, whether that's text, whether that's social touch points, quick value packed messages on email. I truly think that this should also be part of your every single day income producing activities. My clients that run ads with us, they know that I'm nice, but it's like you're not paying us good money for us to just be nice to you, right? Like you want us to move the needle in your business. So my clients know that they need 5 touches every single day, whether that's someone from their church, a past client, whether that's a person in the community, I don't care what it is. 5 touches every single day. And so that may look like commenting on someone's post. That may look like adding a new friend and just introducing yourself. Okay. But as far as nurturing your clients, again, that could be like, hey, so and so, happy birthday. That's nurturing them. So make sure you have all that information about your clients and then the people in your sphere. Your sphere also may not buy a house with you, but maybe it's your lender, maybe it's your title guy or whatever, right? Just get as much information and start touching people as much as possible. Because when you do that, you guys, when you get into that habit of doing that every single day, you're networking. And the better that you network, I promise you, the bigger and better your business grows. So prospecting for new leads. Again, this could be cold calling. That's personally not my gig at all. Door knocking, open house invites, or community outreach. I know, and I don't think that, like, just because I say, hey, that's not for me, I would much rather hit up somebody on social media and engage with them and like build that rapport with them and then call them. Like, I just don't want to be that person. However, it obviously works, okay? But I think that you should try everything until you say, hey, this is for me or this is not for me. Because there's some of you, I'm sure, on this call that you are like excelling in cold calling. And I'm sure some of you are like, yeah, that's totally not me. But unless you try it, don't knock it, okay? Now, door knocking, I think nowadays, just be careful. Like I live in a guarded, gated community, like an actual a guard out in front of the gate or whatever. But anytime somebody knocks on my door, I'm still paranoid, like, who is it? And I don't know why we have this mentality anymore, or I'm checking my ring camera, right? But I think nowadays people are just, it's just different times, I guess. But as far as door knocking and farming, that's a thing. Maybe take a friend. But open house invites, like let's just say you're doing an open house and you want to go farm the neighborhood and go invite them. I think that that's good if they allow that. And now community outreach. That is just, again, like going to networking events or maybe like maybe a new coffee shop open up and you want to go support them and just take that moment though, if you are going to all these events, because I know how easy it is. And I know quite a few agents, they go to these events and they schmooze and they have a couple drinks and hors d'oeuvres and whatever, and they're not making good use of their time. They're just literally hanging out. Okay. So if you are going to go do the networking and do all that schmoozing, take the moment to actually introduce yourself. Here's my business card. Follow me on Facebook. Let's connect. I'd love to talk to you later. Take that moment to be bold in that moment and introduce yourself and take it from there. Okay. Like I just did, what do you do? What is that thing called? 40 under 40. I got voted for my local community for that. And so I went there and you know, it was one of those things. I got voted in, but I also had to pay to be there. So I already knew, like, okay, fine wine and dining and all of that. But I was like, you know, a lot of the people knew me, but I took a moment to just say, hey, I'm looking for referrals. I'm looking for title companies. I'm looking for home inspectors. Like, I know these agents pretty well. They like, know, and trust me, but maybe I don't get that chance to talk to them all the time. Now this is my moment, right? And what do you know? A couple leads, got a lender, I got this, got that, you know, took that moment and I ran with it. Now, posting consistent social media and content, of course, your educational, your local market ups, insights, your personal branding, like we talked about, and engaging on social media. This is such a big one. I do not understand why people don't teach this more. Maybe it's because this is our wheelhouse. I don't know. But it is absolutely part of your prospecting hour when you're engaging with people that have engaged with you. I have to quite often remind some of our clients, like, hey, you have, you know, 10 messages in your inbox. Don't forget to check them. Or, hey, you know, you have so and so. So the longer that our clients have been with us, they know, you know, but it's like some of our newer people, you know, they're getting used to our system and whatever. But you know, you want to check your messages every day. You want to check your comments every single day. I happen to own quite a few local groups, which we're going to do a class on that. Um, and I get so many leads, and so will you when you start running these local groups. But you have to check those every day, and it does take time. So again, during your time management, you know, portion of your business, I want you to think, how many hours am I prospecting, or should I prospect, and what little chunk of time should I dedicate to following up on Facebook? What dedicated time should I nurture past clients, and what time should I be calling? You know, you have to chunk out your time that way and then be consistent and follow the plan. Um, Again, number 6, we talked about this. So sending those 3 to 5 personalized messages every day, whether that's a birthday, congratulations, a check-in, relationships equals referrals. So one of our clients, and I kind of got this idea because of her VA. She, again, top producer. But this lady's got 4 different VAs, and they all do something different, and then we do what we do, right? But I noticed one of the tasks that she gave her VA was to tell everybody happy birthday. And so all of a sudden, I just saw like 40 different happy birthdays with my client's face on it. And she lives in Dallas, and like a cowboy and a cowboy hat. And I'm like, huh. So we ended up making the graphic a little bit nicer for her. But I thought that is such a cool thing, because we don't do that for our clients. Like, we don't reach out on your behalf to people, but that is totally a task you could task your VA, you know? And again, it was just that nice personal touch. Again, checking in with people, just like, hey, you know, how's it going? You know, hey, congratulations, you've been in your house for a year. How's everything going? Like, you know, what kind of updates did you make? And actually, speaking of that, inside the membership, I believe it's under client love or something like that. I'll find it exactly. But we actually have templates like that that say happy home anniversary or happy birthday, or, you know, hey, like, you know, you sold your house with me a year ago. So we do have content like that. Um, Now, following up on pending deals, this should be kind of obvious, but just staying on top of your lenders, all your people, to, you know, ensure that you got smooth transactions. Um, I don't, you know, believe it or not, I'm sure there are some people that this just don't do this the correct way, but you want to make sure that you are keeping up with your deals, because you don't want to have to put fire after fire. So if you just take, again, and allot that time to follow up and see how your files are going, like, do that every single day until you close that transaction. Now, number 8, setting appointments. So whether that's buyers, sellers, consultations, aim for at least 1 per day. I know that sounds hard to do, but if you have a system in place where you send out, I don't know, 50 messages, like a copy and paste kind of system, I promise you, you're going to get those 1 or 2 people that hit you up. It may not be them, but it may be their cousin that's looking to buy or sell, right? So again, going back to the nurturing and the 3 people, this and that, these tie hand in hand, okay? And again, back to the systems. So when I say setting up a system, I'm not saying like build like a an actual system. It's more so just have a Word document and follow what you're going to do every single day, like a timeline. Okay. So your systems for setting appointments for buyers, that's one system. Sellers, that's another. Consultations, maybe you invest in something like Calendly. Like I think I pay, I don't even know what we pay. It's like $100 or something for the year. I don't even think about that because we use that calendar so much, but that's part of my system. When someone reaches out to me, we have this whole email that I just copy and paste. Or I have a text message that I just hit them up with. But I don't, one by one do that. That would drive me crazy. So, number 9, hosting or scheduling open houses. So I know a lot of people, they're indifferent to open houses. This is how I feel about them. Now, granted, I sold real estate during the recession in Las Vegas. That was the number one distressed market in the country. It was not easy, and I was quite literally a kid. But I was like, I'm going to do every open house that I could. And that's how truly I got most of my buyers. Okay. But here, open houses have changed quite often, right? Um, if you're going to host an open house, give yourself enough time to actually market it. I get so many emails, and my clients, I think they kind of know better at this point, but things happen. Don't post the open house, 2 hours before you're going to host it and hope to God someone saw it on social media. Okay. If you're going to host an open house on a Saturday, you probably should know by Wednesday or Thursday at the latest, right? Make an event in your local community. Invite people to that. Obviously, make a flyer, share it in some groups, send it to people, right? So, hosting and scheduling these open houses. If you're going to take your time to sit there and, like, let's just say, God forbid, nobody shows up or it's kind of slow, I don't think that's a loss either, because I think that's time that you're not actually physically somewhere else or doing something else where you could focus on your other income producing activities. Okay. So don't just sit there and, like, watch YouTube or just, talk on the phone to your girlfriend. Make use of that time if it is slow. Okay. But hear me out again. If you have an open house, create the proper channels, make the flyers, make the events, invite the people, tell them about it, tell your colleagues to invite the people, right? And do that the right way. Now, number 10, learning the market daily. This is, so my new agents listening, this is something that, it is a learning curve, and I'm sure Alan and all the other brokers have quite a bit of, just knowledge and helping you with this. But you should understand your local market. Okay. There are so many things going on. Each market is different. A lot of people, believe it or not, in my area are starting to see a lot of foreclosures here. They're starting to, just a lot of stuff's happening here. A lot of short sales are happening again. Maybe you don't know what that is. Like, take a moment to understand what is going on in your market. And in my opinion, I feel like you should also look and market each other's listings, because why not try to keep it in-house as much as possible? Look at the listings that are in your office. That may very well fit a situation for your buyer. But take a moment and kind of look and see what's going on every single day. Okay. All right. So how to map out your day like a top producing realtor. So again, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If your day has no structure, if your day has no plan and no preparation, you will always feel like you're playing catch up. So top agents prevent chaos by pre-planning their days before the day starts. So mapping out your day ensures that you are consistent with your income producing tasks. You avoid that decision fatigue, like, oh, what should I do next? And I know when I started this business, um, we were busy like from day one, because I kind of came from a marketing company and those people came with me or whatever. So I started off with 14 clients and I was like, oh, okay. Like, what do I do every day? And it really, truly, you guys, wasn't until like maybe year 2 that I was like a little bit more structured in my business. We were just busy and flying by the seat of our pants. So again, you're going to avoid that decision fatigue when you map out your day. Um, you also show up prepared, you're not scrambling. And again, you run your business proactively and not reactively. Um, I know there are some days, like even in my business and yours as well, where something gets thrown at me and I'm like, oh, I feel like I got to put a fire out. I hear agents say that to me too all the time. I'm putting out this fire. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. That happens, and like you can't prevent some of these people, right, from just being cuckoo. But if you take a moment though and map out like what you truly are wanting to accomplish, what you're going to do, whatever, you don't have as much of that, okay? But it will happen, okay? But when you know exactly what to do each day, real estate stops feeling overwhelming. It starts feeling predictable. Um, it's all about numbers too. So I don't know if anybody else, you can't see behind me because I got all this crazy stuff going on right now in here, but I have a huge whiteboard and every single little sale, it could be a 199 sale, it could be a $10,000 sale. I don't care what it is. Every single sale we make, I put in on that board, right? I have to see my numbers, okay? So maybe you're that type of person where you got to write it down, or you need a whiteboard, or you need some kind of organization in front of you to motivate you, okay? But I truly think that you can predict your income in real estate. Not many people are going to tell you that. I really do think you can because it is a numbers game. The more phone calls that you make, more opportunities you have. More opportunities you have, more clients you'll get, more clients you get, more referrals you should get in the future, okay? So just keep that in mind. When you're thinking about real estate, like it's not, oh, I just need to sell 10 houses this year. Like, no, sky's the limit. I do think you can predict your income. All right, so the realtor, the daily map. So use this every single day. Now, this is not going to be, set in stone for some of you because some these numbers might or the time might look different. Most people they work like the 8 to 5. Realtors, obviously, we work 24 hours a day, right? But when you go again and structure your business like a business, I can tell you this, you guys. If you get like $1 million lead, right? Like obviously you're going to take that. But I will tell you this, most of my clients that are, extremely successful, top producers, all of that, they actually have set hours for their business because people do respect you more. They respect your time. They're not asking you a million questions at 11 o'clock at night. I still get that too in my business. And I have learned I don't how I approach it personally, like if I get messages all day, then I get clients trying to add me on Snapchat and this and that. And I'm like, no, our channels are right. You can message me on Facebook and you can email me and text us, right, and call us. But when we start doing all these different things and people start driving you crazy and start putting you, whatever, jump when I say jump, you cannot run your business like that. It will run you into the ground. So I promise you, if you start thinking about like, okay, should I have set hours, for my business? Think about it, okay? But the power hours, 8 to 11, that's usually like prospecting. Systems, that's usually between like 11 and 1, and then client appointments 1 to 5. This is literally one of my clients. Um, she sells over 100 homes a year, and I'm actually, if she allows me to share it with you all, I'm making her something pretty soon where it's like, hey, here's all the pendings I've had, here's all the referrals I've had, here's all the closings I've had, the listings I've taken, right? If she allows me to share that, I will send that out to the masses because I'm proud of it, proud of her. But I will say this is her actual schedule, okay? So her power hours. So what she'll do, her or her team, lead follow up. That's the new prospecting. That's that social engagement, appointment setting, pipeline nurturing, and then your CMA and your prep, like your CMA prep and your outreach. So your CMA prep, you guys, we have these again, templates inside Agent Wise Design, where all you should have to do going forward is just actually prepare that house. Okay, we've got all the other verbiage, all the pretty stuff. It looks professional. You look branded. You're just filling out that chunk of information per house. Okay. Um, Now the system block. Is there any questions on this so far? So let's say lead follow up. You guys know what to do. Prospecting, you know what to do. Social engagement, we talked about. Appointment setting, we talked about. Your nurturing, and yes, your CMA. Okay. Now the system block 11 to 1. So this is where you'll update your CRM. This is where you log your clients' notes. So again, you guys, please try to get out of the habit and I do it too. I'm not perfect. You can't see it. It's a little blurry. But anyways, I'm writing crap down on this. And then here's the paper. The next thing I know, my daughter's coloring all over it, right? Get out of that habit. I have to as well. So what I started doing, believe it or not, is I started, if I do that, I take a picture of it real quick, put it in chat, and I tell it to write it out for me. I don't want to sit there and write all that out. So we can do that now. But logging your clients' notes, okay? Prep your scripts for your calls. I personally, I don't know, I'm not a script person. I'm sure you can tell. I'm again not telling you it doesn't work. Scripts do work. We do have them. I just think it's one of those things when I say prepping your scripts, I don't want you reading line by line. I want you to like practice it, okay? So if that's part of your systematic approach is like having scripts or, something like role playing in front of you, get it already prepared, okay? Um, Create templates for texting, follow-ups, and emails. So what this looks like in my personal phone is just a whole bunch of notes. When I will quite often get a client that will like put me in the thread with somebody else as like a referral. I have a little text, little blurb for that with a link to my calendar. It's like a very short, sweet message, like book a call with me, basically. I have all kinds of different emails for like follow-ups, and don't forget about your Zoom call. And I mean, we really, like me and my assistant, I think we've got like 40 or so, but they're already templates because I don't want to have to think what to write every single time. There's a scenario, like you start to get certain scenarios, and if you do, then you start creating templates for that, okay? So think about that. This is also when you should organize your buyer and your seller folders and just kind of go through that stuff. Prepare your open house marketing. I can't express that enough. Don't post the day before and hope to God someone's coming, right? Like it's quite a bit of preparation. And review and refine your workflow. So this is again where let's say that you make a workflow. Like I have made so many workflows over the years for my own business, for clients, and sometimes they don't work. So then you have to refine it to what does work. I have noticed when I don't put the price out there for something, I actually don't get as many calls. When I put the price out there for something, I get people booking and they're ready to buy. So same thing like when you're listing a house for sale, right? Like if you don't put the price, they want to know that's your opportunity. But if they put the price and they know, or you put the price and they know and they still call you, that's your opportunity to sell, in my opinion. Okay. So just have different things that, review and refine them. Um, Again, client work and appointments. So this is when, you can take showings, you might have listing appointments, buyer consultations, your home inspections if you attend those, lender communication, your home tours, and then content filming. So just like in regard to content filming, just like this is what I personally think everybody should do because I need to do it for my business as well. Reels and AI and TikToks and all this, like I'm sure you see all these other agents doing it and you're like, how do they find the time to do that? You guys, they're just taking like an 8-hour day and they're filming tons of content and switching their closer out, right? So like maybe that's something else you do too, is like you have one day a month or one day a quarter even where you have content filming. You have one day a month where it's just straight up system work. You have one day a month where it's whatever it is, right? Whatever that looks like for you, you just have to time block it though. Because again, remember I said if we act reactively every day to how the day is going instead of being proactive and getting ahead of the day and getting your things scheduled, you're gonna drive yourself cuckoo. So any questions on this so far? No? All right, so inside your daily map, so what you need prepared. So here's what every realtor should have ready before your day starts. I do think, again, everybody should have that CRM open the moment you hit that, hit the ground running for the day. Okay, so have that open. If you're going to start making your calls or updating or whatever, have it open. Your follow-up list, again, prioritize, of course, hot leads, then warm, and then nurture. Okay. I think that the nurture ones, I'm gonna put your SOI, your sphere of influence, into that category. Okay, that's not just people that are reaching out. Nurture is like anybody that's like really, in your contact list. Okay. Scripts and talk your track sets out. Again, I think we just kind of talked through this, but um, I don't think, again, don't knock it till you try it. I think a good exercise personally is like get together with one of your colleagues or your husband or your wife or whoever, or record yourself and listen to what you sound like, okay? It sounds kind of funny. Like, let's just say that you have like a script where it's like, okay, here's what the realtor says. Here's maybe a rebuttal or a rejection, right? Like, actually walk through that and listen to yourself back on recording, and I promise you, you're going to refine it. Your daily social posts prepped or scheduled. That's pretty obvious now at this point. Your email, text, and your templates are ready for quick responses. There, my little sister actually just showed me this the other day because I get so gung ho again. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I want to send emails like right when I want to send them. She goes, "No, girl, don't you realize you can schedule the email?" So my more, I guess, business like emails, not so much a reply to an email. Like if I need to send correspondence out, I will schedule it for 8 a.m., like first thing in the morning. Um, and then buyer and seller packets ready to send. So you guys, we have those inside Agent Wise Design as well. We've got quite a few and we're actually making some more. We are just about to load the luxury listing presentation. It's very nice. So we're loading that January 1st. But all of the things inside of the system that you think, that you would need from us, go ahead and get those ready. So if you have a listing present or don't have one, we have a couple of them where you can go fill it out. If you don't have your buyer and your seller guides ready to go fill those out. Have them ready, okay? Um, Open house checklists and sign-in templates. Like, go ahead and have all of this branded information. So someone like Linda, and I don't know who else is on here, but Linda, I know for sure, like she's about to be a marketing client. So what we personally do for everybody is we go ahead and make all of Linda's flyers. We go ahead and make all of Linda's testimonial templates, all of her market updates, and absolutely all of her open house correspondence and things like that. So when Linda needs it, she's just going to go boom, print it, be on her way, right? Now, proper workspace setup. Again, this may not be for everybody. Definitely not my husband. But a clear desk, your water, a charger, have the lights on. Jimmy, honestly, my husband Jimmy, honestly works better with the lights off. So if that's your vibe, not for me. I need light and bright. I need a clean space. Okay, and just no clutter. All right. So again, why mapping out your day? It works. You stop wasting energy, you build that momentum, you have less distractions, predictable income, you run your business with intention, and you look and feel more professional, and you'll start attracting better clients. Um, I don't mean this in a rude way, but when I first started this, granted, I was young, but we were attracting a complete opposite of me. Okay. I was attracting the most not nice people. Okay. And I was like, what in the world, God? Like, why are these people coming to me? Right. But when I started running my business with intention and I started running it just the appropriate way, I really truly started getting more like-minded clients. Okay. So that's something because I know even when I sold real estate, not every client's your friend or not everybody you're going to like, and they might not like you. So, again, another reason why you want to map your day out. All right, so your online profile is your digital front door. It's closed. If it's closed, your business walks past, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit here about profile optimization, talking about how to set up your Instagram, your Facebook, and the whole 9 yards, okay? So if people can't find you, they can't hire you. Do you know how many times I am looking for a real estate agent's phone number? And I have to go to Google. They don't have a Zillow. Excuse me, real quick. They don't have a Google profile. They don't have a Zillow. They don't have a realtor. They're not on Facebook. I'm like, what in the world? And then somehow I'm on like on the third page of Google, and I find it on their office profile website, right? That is not okay. Okay, you guys, people, I know everybody wants to have their privacy, and so do I. But honestly, we're in this business where we're dealing with people, so they need to find a way to get a hold of you. Maybe you don't want to put your email out there. That's fine because a lot of spam and things like that. I totally get that as well. But at least at the bare minimum, put your phone number, okay? Put it where it is visible. And again, going back before I read all this, going back into talking about social media marketing, it again, it's not, we can't make anybody do anything, but it's not going to, one size fits all is not a thing anymore. Definitely not in the real estate industry. But just understand for sure, you guys are going to Google you. So if you are not going to do social media marketing for whatever reason, make sure you do have at least a Google presence and make sure your website is completely filled out with like your bio and make sure it's up to date. I just had to change somebody's bio the other day from 23 years in the business to 32 years in the business. That is a long time she didn't update that bio, okay? So just make sure all those little things are filled out and as well as your office, the website. So Alan may say, hey, I need your photo and I need your bio. Give them a clear photo of you. Give them a clear, a good bio of you, right? Because again, they're actually probably more than likely getting more traffic than you are to your personal website. So you want to be found there. Okay. Um, so again, in today's market, your online presence is your storefront. If your profiles are incomplete, if they're inconsistent, or if they're unprofessional, you're losing business like you never knew you even missed. Okay. Most realtors don't have a lead problem; they have a visibility problem. Before you run ads, before you post content, and you start DMing prospects, your profiles need to be optimized. So you should be easy to find, easy to contact, and easy, to trust. Um, I get everybody's different. Okay, so I have some clients that are very, very structured, where they're just down to business. But I'm just going to tell you guys the honest truth. The reason why we only post Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Instagram is because we want you to put a little bit of personal flair back into your business. Okay, we want you guys to have that likability and that trust factor and that kind of like normal, like I'm a normal person. I don't just talk about houses all day, right? But it is okay if you just want to stick to business too. Again, consistency is better than nothing. But I'm just telling you guys again, when you have that personal flair in your business and when you look approachable, you will get more business that way, in my opinion. Now, Facebook optimization. So, this is for your business page and your personal. You want to make sure you have a clear profile picture. So, a clean professional headshot, no sunglasses, no busy backgrounds, none of these crazy AI things that we're all putting out there. They're fun. But keep in mind, if you have to use AI for your photos, choose the ones that look the best. I mean, I can't believe I'm even talking about that. I think everybody at the bare minimum, that's one thing you should invest in your business is good quality photos. Nowadays, a lot of these real estate photographers they're trying to drum up your business with them with listings, so they might offer like a brand package. I think I paid like $250 and I got 70 photos. I kept like 20 or so of them. Some of them I was like, oh, I look awkward. I don't want those, right? But even with the awkward ones, if I needed to turn them into a little less awkward, you could do it with AI. But the AI photos I'm seeing some of these agents, I'm like, man, that looks nothing like you. Or why all of a sudden do you have six fingers? Or you, you know what I mean? You're missing an ear, right? Like, just look at that and understand professional, like that first impression, very, very important. Okay. Your cover photo of branding. So showcase your market area, your name with the realtor title. And you guys, please, please, please write this down. Make sure you're doing realtor with the registered R in all capital letters. And make sure you have Maximum One's logo very visible on your profile, okay? Some agents go take that time to do their contact info, and then maybe their own personal logo. So this is just, an example. But you guys, we have at least, I don't know how many top of my mind, but I know at least 30 different cover photos to choose from. You can make your own, you can use one of the templates, whatever. Just don't put a blurry picture of like half of your dog on there. I know you love your dog and I love, all the animals too. But you guys, impressions matter, okay? Especially on your business page. You want to do it on your personal page, do that there, right? A fully completed about section. So this is again, it's going to have your name, your full name, realtor, and the title of your brokerage, your phone number, your email, your website. I would take that moment to say, okay, this is what market you serve. And then maybe the services that you offer. Maybe you only work with buyers, maybe you only work with sellers. Most people put buying, selling, investing, relocation, that sort of stuff. So take that moment to put that. If you guys look here on my screen, I know it's probably small, but where it says about, take that moment to put that there, okay? Um, this section here where you're like, I help buyers and sellers, investors, etc. I serve the Atlanta market, or I serve, whatever area. And now public facing contact details, make sure again your phone, your email, and your website are visible, which is going to be here on the left hand side underneath the home button. Okay. This is why I say if I am needing to get in touch with somebody and I literally am taking like 5 minutes to just find your phone number, that is such a bad look. I've noticed that's usually the agents that don't answer the phone or their voice boxes are full, they don't text you back, right? You are missing so much business when you don't have these things just done, like clear your voicemails out. Maybe you don't answer like the drop of a hat, but go back through your text messages when you get a second and say, okay, did I reply to this person? Did I do that? Matter of fact, Alan, he's very responsive. And then he even sent me another email. He was like, hey, I was just cleaning out my emails and I sent this. I wanted to make sure you got this for sure. So he is taking a moment to like kind of, go through his system of how he, reaches out to people. Um, all right, now again, let me see. Instagram's next. So, intro with a strong hook. So, where this little section is, it's basically continuing here. But, I'm helping families buy and sell, and I live in Southwest Florida with strategy, clarity, and consistency. If you can't think of something, you guys just type into ChatGPT and say, I'm a realtor, I'm servicing the Atlanta metro area or whatever. Give me 10 different hooks I can use for my bio or for my Facebook bio. And it knows it's going to be very, short and sweet. And even if you got to add those words like, I need to be short and sweet, like you can do that and choose the best one. Just again, copy and paste it, you guys. Featured photos and featured reels. This is new and this is actually not for every single person's profile. You have to have the new version of Meta to have like highlights essentially. So this is where you can have like listings. This is where you can have, client wins. Like, I don't know, you just help them save X amount of money or whatever. You can put market insights here. And again, you can put like testimonials, right? That's kind of your featured. Maybe I'm actually might put on here like local stuff. Maybe you're really into supporting local community stuff. I think that's a nice highlight as well. And where those will be, it'll say a section that says featured, and like you'll have different blocks there. So consistent posting, professional voice. So people will stalk your page before they message you. Make sure you make sure you are active and you have that authority. You're consistent. You've got, obviously you're a realtor and they can tell. There is nothing worse. Like I have so many Facebook groups, you guys too. And I think people just nowadays, I don't know, we're trying to like go past things and we don't read instructions and whatever. You see people don't even stop at the stop sign anymore, right? But take a second, you guys, and just read things. If you're in all these Facebook groups, and they quite literally say, give me your email, like you can put NA or whatever, but I want to make sure that you're a realtor. Like I deny so many people that might have that opportunity to get business, but I deny them because I can't tell they're a realtor. I don't see it anywhere on your profile. I don't see a phone number. I don't see a website, nothing, right? I just assume that you're spamming me. So understand like that's the side from like a group standpoint too, right? So you want to make sure that again you're visible. Now the next thing is here is Instagram. It's basically the same deal. Now if you don't know what a handle is, it's your like your screen name, I guess, like we used to call it back in the day. So you may put, Ashley Gotch Realtor, Ashley Gotch sells homes or whatever. I would avoid numbers because just kind of keep in mind people are probably going to type in Linda Crisp, right? Alan Richardson. Like they're going to type in your name before they think Linda Crisp 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your handle. And if you can, now someone like Alan Richardson, that is a very common name. I'm sure there's hundreds of Alan Richardsons that are realtors or even brokers, right? It's such a common name, but as much as you possibly can, try to keep your handle very consistent. So many reasons why we do this, right? Like for your advertising, it just looks better. But like when you're talking to people, you could say, follow me on Instagram. Like if you don't have your card on you for whatever reason, or even a digital, but like follow me on Instagram. You'll find me here. I'm also there on Facebook. I'm there on YouTube, right? Like it just sounds more professional. So just make sure y'all have a good handle. Again, professional profile. Now you're optimized. I want you guys again to use ChatGPT for this. It's just an exercise. If you're great at writing, do that. But here's an exercise for you. I want you to go into ChatGPT and I want you to say, hey, chat, give me an optimized bio with certain keywords. I serve this market and give me a couple emojis. Okay. And it's going to spit out whatever it needs to be. And that's what you're going to copy and paste under the about section. Okay. That's an exercise for you. Now, link in bio, what this is, on Instagram and on Facebook, actually, you are only allowed one URL. So we're actually in the middle of building these out. We've had them for quite a while, but we have to refine and fix them because things have changed since I released it. But basically, like there's a lot of services out there. One of them is called Linktree. Linktree, they have a free version, they've got a paid version, all that. But basically, it is one link that you're going to send people to other items, okay? So maybe you're sending them to a home search. Maybe you're sending them to your calendar link to book a call with you. Maybe you're sending them to your buyer, your seller guides that you just already have together. Maybe you're sending them to sign up for your newsletter every month. Whatever it is, I truly think that everybody 100% should have a link in bio. I don't think you need the paid version unless you want to remove all their advertising and get like analytics and stuff, which are nice, but at least the bare minimum, please just make a link tree or, whatever it is. Pretty soon, though, we will be having these ourselves, okay? Instagram highlights, what these are, essentially, it's just like when you post a story, the story goes away after 24 hours. But if you post a story and then you send it to your highlights, that story will stay there forever until you delete it. Okay. So certain highlights that you may want to have on your Instagram, like testimonials, maybe homes that you've sold, maybe listings that you've taken, market updates. You guys are you're understanding the trend here, right? Like make it known that you are a real estate agent, okay? I personally, however, on Instagram, honest to God, think that you should have like, little, not vlogs, because that's like too long, but maybe like like glimpses into your life every day, right? Like, oh, I'm out to lunch here and like tag that local business. Or I am, at the beach today, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, whatever. I think glimpses, again, remember I told you guys, put that personal back into your business. It could be like, check out my outfit of the day, or check out my new shoes or my new watch. My husband's like super into Rolex right now. Like my dad gave him a Rolex. Now it's like that's all he talks and thinks about. So, when people start following certain things and they start following you, you're going to build, how do I say this? Like how Jimmy's into watches right now. You're going to build a community around certain like-minded things. Not everybody, obviously, but the people that are interested in that. So, like maybe you're really into supporting restaurants, right? You might have a tab for that. Um, Now your story activity. So your stories, you guys, we do not. So like Miss Linda, we do not post on your stories for you. Alan, we'll share on you guys' stories, but we're not like posting videos for you, right? But I really truly think get in the habit, you guys, of posting some stories every day. Because in my opinion, it allows you to put like music out there. You can do polls, you can route them to websites. There's a song out there, but it basically people start DMing you. Like I could be making tacos, or I could be, we took my daughter to all these different, Christmas events, and I had so many people. Where is that? Where is that? What are you doing? And you get the conversation rolling, and the next thing you know, like I don't know if any of you follow me, but I just invested some money into a photo booth business that we're going to have somebody run for us. It's just, saw the opportunity. And anyways, I posted on my story, and next thing you know, the real lady goes, well, I'm a realtor and I actually need you to do marketing for my brokerage. I'm like, oh, okay. So if I didn't do that, right, like that opportunity would not have been there. All right, so that is everything I got. I think the rest of it is just kind of like salesy stuff. So I want you guys to ask me some questions. I'm sure there's a couple on here. Um, I see some in here. Let me answer these ones real quick. Okay. So Alicia said, can you recommend the best time to post on social media platforms? Technically speaking, they kind of want people doing it between like 6 and 8 in the morning, 6 and 8 at night. Again, I'm going to go back to tell you guys it is just be consistent. But if you are batching your content, schedule it for those times. Okay, if you find that moment to batch your content for the whole month, schedule it for the times where people are scrolling on their phone.
Okay, I do have another question in conjunction to that one.
Sure.
Does Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, do they have all different algorithms to post, or should it be
Oh,
the same?
no, so TikTok is the craziest algorithm I have ever seen in my life. Facebook and Instagram, they are technically different algorithms, but they are both owned by Meta. So what we do is, again, because you got to think though, we're posting for that like over 1,200 people. So we have to keep it moving, just like y'all have to keep it moving. So what we do is we post on Facebook and we let it feed into Instagram. Some agents do the opposite. They post on Instagram and let it feed to their Facebook. But I have found if we schedule through Meta on Facebook and we let it touch Instagram at that same time, and then we just log in to LinkedIn first thing, whatever, then we do it that way. So, but TikTok, there is no rhyme or reason to TikTok. That is, I mean, I'm hoping now that it'll be controlled by the US, so it'll be a little bit more understanding of their algorithm. But you literally could be a nobody, and the next thing you know, you are viral on TikTok. There is no rhyme or reason there, unfortunately. Unfortunately, but fortunately.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, any more questions, you guys? We got a little bit, yeah, we got some time here. I think the biggest takeaway, you guys, please, like I'm telling you, do your systems. Right, Alan?
Absolutely, 100%. I have a couple of questions too, though.
Sure.
Um, what about like some of the other social platforms? And like, even though some of them are maybe not right in our face, but like Google My Business or Google Business Profile, and then Nextdoor. Those are two that we're seeing. Like Nextdoor is if you're really trying to attract sellers, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Where do you see that those fall in on the social importance thing?
So Google, like I mean, at least from a contract and like business standpoint, we tell clients like we will periodically post on your Google, because Google is weird, you guys, where like let's just say that I make a beautiful post for Linda and we get it out there on all the other platforms and then we put it on Google and then they tell us 2 hours later that they rejected it. It's kind of like, so I would say just make sure you have it updated like as much as possible. Again, Google optimizing your profile, I should have put that in here. You should 1,000,000% optimize your Google profile. If you don't have a Google My Business profile, it is kind of a process. You got to get codes and postcards sent to your house and all that, but get one because obviously that is going to be the first thing that pops up when someone Googles you is that Google page, right? So what Alan's asking, you want to make sure that you've got like at least some pictures of maybe houses you've sold, maybe some of your actual advertising, different things like that. But have again your profile completely filled out, meaning your phone number, your website, your hours of operation, maybe. You can put external links like maybe to a calendar, or maybe you take that external link to your link tree where it's got all the other links. But make sure you're doing that. Now, as far as posting though, I would say like at least I know we try to update it at least once a week. If we're posting 5 days a week on the other, we try at least once a week. Now Nextdoor, we've not posted for realtors, but I have quite a few, like for Alan, for you, for your other business, like we will obviously do Nextdoor, but we haven't done it necessarily for realtors, but like my clients are like electricians or plumbers or like those kind of people, we definitely do. And I can tell you 100% they get business from it every single month. Like me, I definitely live in a community where we have Nextdoor, most of it's drama, but I see the realtors in their posting. We just personally haven't. But I tell people all the time though, you guys, like, I know there's nothing worse than wasting your time. So if you are like, I get these people all the time, I should do YouTube. And I'm like, who told you should do YouTube? The lender that just did a presentation in your office? Who's telling you that you need to do YouTube? You need to do something and stay consistent with it. If you find the time or you find a way that you can post on all of these places, then do that. But at least at the bare minimum, you guys, Facebook, okay? Master that first. Facebook and Instagram. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, a lot of the templates that we have access to, those would work really good on some of these other platforms too. I don't think, like we just had somebody that started taking some of those templates and using it on like Nextdoor, but I haven't tried to use them on Google My Business or anything. But those will work still good on other platforms, right?
Oh yeah, they'll fit. And the reason I'm going to show y'all something real quick. So it was quite the undertaking for us. Instagram, I don't even know when it was. It was like maybe like March or April of this year, and they were like, "Hey, we're just suddenly going to change the size of Instagram posts." I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like we had to go and fix every template. So let's just pray they don't do that again. But I will tell you guys this. The social posts, the testimonials, all the holiday, the flyers, the market updates, and that's pretty much it. All of those are sized in a size. If you guys want to write this down, it's called 4-5. So if you're in Canva, you'll type in social post or not social post. You'll type in Instagram post, and it's the one where it's got 4:5. So the reason why we size them this way, because Instagram is the only feed that has to have a very specific like size dimensions. So they fit perfectly on Instagram, obviously, but they look nice on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. If we were to use like an 8.5 by 11, looks fine on Instagram or on Facebook, looks fine on LinkedIn, looks fine on Google, but it would be cut off on Instagram. So if you guys are going to start building out your, your marketing campaigns, and for whatever reason you're doing your own thing and not using this or whatever, just keep that in mind. You're sizing it for 4-5 and then posting it on the other places. But yeah, it will fit on Nextdoor. I wanted to show you, this is something, just speaking of Nextdoor, Where is it? I think it's here. Oh, we just moved a lot of things around, you guys. Yeah. So if you go into Instagram posts and then go into local content, I want to show you guys these. This could be something that you all post in like your next door because it is, community, central, and it's not too like advertisement. Because people, and I'm just telling you, I run so many groups. I run one of my local, my neighborhood group, okay, and there's like I think there's 24,000 in my neighborhood group. I'm one of the admins in there, and it is so annoying. And I feel bad when we have to delete all these, like, business advertisements. But I think you could get away with, hey, did you guys know this is going on this weekend? And then boom, it's just subtly branded to you at the bottom. Hey, Michelle.
Hello, hey. I had a question about the branding kit for Maximum One. Did you create one that we would have the exact color of like Maximum One?
Alan, you guys have one, right? Your brand kit.
All right, couldn't find the button. You and we've been going back and forth. I don't have a hardcore one. I can send you the basic information with all the colors and that kind of stuff, Michelle, but that's one that I am behind on getting that completely done and sent to Ashley so she can put it up there, that kind of stuff. I need to get it. So shame
Yeah,
on
and
me.
if I need to help you jump in, we'll do it, Alan. Just let me know. What, I'll just
Help
do
me,
it.
yes,
Yeah,
please.
I'll have
Come
the
on,
girls.
W1. I'm
Yeah.
down.
Okay, I'll have the girls do it. So the only thing I will need are all of the logos per brokerage. Because like I know Tracy, I know they've got like a little bit of silver with theirs, so theirs may be the only one that's different, but like each brokerage, you guys have different names too. So we'll make it today, you
Yep.
guys. I'll get that to Alan.
Awesome. I'll send it
And
over
then
to you.
I had one other question. It seems like in one of these meetings, you said that there was an easy way to change your name, like something that you could do that every time you wouldn't have to go in there and type your information. Do
Yes,
you remember telling us that?
I do, yeah, and I'll show you. So when you guys go, and I apologize, it's only in the feminine, not saying it's not for men, but what happens when you come into feminine and then click social posts, click that, and then you scroll to the bottom, it's called the Canva cheat sheet. So open that up. And you guys, just little reminder, every time you open up a file, you're going to file and then move it to your folder. Okay, so you don't have to keep opening this up again. So I think Michelle just asked that. So Michelle, you'll come in and you will put your picture, fill out your information, and just like here, we've got Keisha here. I forgot to change Keisha out, but we put Keisha here. Like you can do it over and over again, cut your background out, and then when you have this, again, save this in your folder, maybe call it branding, right? And maybe here's where you'll find the logos, for your company and put those in here too. And feel free, you guys, to add your own signatures. We actually just made, I want to say like 5 or 6 more signatures that I'll put on here today, but we just made new ones because I want to just freshen it up. But basically what I'm saying is when you have your social posts open, all you're going to do is just copy and paste this. So if let's pull up here, I'm gonna pull up this one here. I want y'all to see the new stuff. We are making such nice stuff right now. Let me type in social post 24. I think it is. There it is. So this is not loaded yet. This will be loaded in January 1st. But we have really nice stuff, you guys. But if you have this open, your social bundle, whichever one you're working on, and you've got your Canva cheat sheet, all you're literally going to do is just copy and paste it. So you would just take this out real quick, or Matt, you would take this out real quick, come over to here and pretend like your picture's on this one, and boom, done. So you're going to size it and do that. And then, of course, put your picture there. So it seems redundant, but I do promise you guys it's going to save you a lot of time. And I don't know if I ever told you guys this in that batching content, but I just told somebody this on Friday last week. But honestly, when I do it, I have timed myself, I've timed our girls. If you are batching your content, this is how we do it. We go in and we put our picture, all of the pictures first, okay? So I'll go get Linda's headshot and, just do what I'm going to do with it on every single one. There's 20 of them here, right? And then we go back through and we put all of the, the information. And then we go back through one more time and we do the colors and the logo. If I wasn't talking to you guys, I get all of that done in like 20, 25 minutes at most. Some of our clients get these weird, they give me these strange like headshots or whatever that we gotta finagle, but most people 20 to 25 minutes. And so you getting started, maybe it takes you 30 to 35 minutes, okay? But that truly is the fastest way. One of my girls, she was like, well, why don't I just do one at a time? It actually took her 45 minutes, one at a time. So just hear me out on that. Miss Linda said, do you remember when the batch content training was? Alan, just so I know, do you save these recordings somewhere? I think y'all do.
Yep, they're on our YouTube channel. It's called realestatebackstory.com.
Okay.
And you should be able to see all the past episodes of our masterminds. They're listed underneath the masterminds. And it's not always there. We probably need to make a Agent Wise tab instead of just masterminds. But yeah, they should be on there.
You know what you could do? This would be cool. So like, just saying this is for everybody, but you could come into, Canva here, come over down to where it says apps, type in YouTube. Okay. And press open. No. I'm not sorry, not that one. Let me do it again. App, YouTube embed, open. So then you would like basically copy and paste the URL and you can have it on each little, like a screenshot, and maybe keep that in y'all's files in the group or something like that.
Nice. I like that. See, learning every day.
Well, one of the girls was like, why don't we, because I get asked that often too, like, we don't save every single Zoom call because the storage, like it's already extravagant amount of money. But we also started loading them to YouTube too. But you guys, trust me when I tell you, make your systems, do all the things. Is there anybody on here that's willing to share something that they do that they think that they're, that the team could benefit from? Like every day, is there something that you're like, hey, I kind of already have this mapped out. And this is what I do every day. You're like, no, girl, it's my competition.
Come on, speak up, folks.
Linda, I'm gonna call on you.
Oh dear. This is why I'm hiring you.
I
So that
know,
I can
but
get my systems in place. You are not throwing me under the bus.
Linda's
What's going on?
You're very techy, like you're techie, right? Like, and I'm sure there's stuff
Why?
you realize like I can't do. But Linda, not saying that everybody else isn't, but she realized like, hey, can she do this? Yes. But like her time is just not better spent on something else, right? Like she realizes time management, it's important in this business. Alan, same thing. He just hired us for his property management company, like we're staying consistent. My team, I already sent Alan and Ming quite a few things, but our team put together 45 different pieces of marketing material in about 2 hours for him already. So we're going to start scheduling it out. And then if he has new stuff or if Linda has new stuff, like we're not scrambling every day because we already time blocked and already did what we were supposed to do and got it scheduled out. So that's the secret. It's not really a secret, but people ask us all the time, how do you handle all these people? And it's because we work very wise with our time, and you have to content block. Lakeisha.
Hey, Ashley, quick question. Did you say that there was a way to change the personal information on the templates all at once versus one by one? Because it is very time consuming. I think I may have missed that part if you did mention that. Is there a way to do that?
So there is. It's kind of like how back in the day we used to do find and replace. However, we don't. So now some of our templates that will apply, but there is a way where you can like find and replace, like if it says Rachel Smith on everyone. But the problem is these are like this is a different layout versus this one. So you might have to still then go in and stretch it and do all that. And believe it or not, like each second adds up to minutes, and then you're like frustrated. So what I would do, Lakeisha, is again, I would just like your common ones that you see in our templates, or if you don't like any of these, make your own where you can copy and paste. Like let's just say that because I get it too. Actually, you know what? Let me give you a good example. I have got a great example for you. We just did this today. So I've got one of my girls right now, as we speak, working on, here it is, right here. These quick little blurbs. We are going to have hundreds of these, you guys, but I want you to note something here. It's quick. It's like a little blurb. It's got that, and then here's the bottom half. It's the same on different girls, obviously, but it's the same for you on every single one. So we are listening to everybody where they want to say, hey, I just want to copy and paste, but hear me out. If we do have it like set like this, okay, Lakeisha, where it's like here's your picture in a circle and like that. If you don't like that, take that out, and maybe you just want a plain text on the bottom with your information and no photo. You know what I mean? You could totally change these to be very uniform, the same. But as far as your question though, the find and replace, it will work, but it won't work because then you got to go stretch it out. It's kind of annoying. So we have found, like, even when we post, trust me, we have like each client. Let me see if I can pull up someone. Let's see, Amanda. So Amanda, we have each client already filled out, like in their own little cheat sheet, so we know, whoa, what happened here? Dang, that's crazy. We know we can just go and grab Amanda's stuff here real quick. That makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know it's annoying, but this is going to be fun though, because then you just got to literally, take it, and let's just say I don't want, this chick here. Oops. I messed that up. What you would take is that each time. Look how quick you can do that, right? Now I didn't grab the text the right way, but it'll be like seconds compared to doing them one by one. So any more questions? Also, Alan, I didn't know you had a property management company. You want to talk about it, Alan?
I'm sorry, say again?
Linda said she didn't know that you had a property management company.
Oh, yeah, we're still yeah, we have Renting Georgia, so we'll be posting more and more about that coming up here soon. So yeah, I don't have a ton to go over yet.
Now put that in Rockstar, Alan, 'cause a lot of people have been asking, and I've been giving them Deborah's husband's information and executive. So at least I have more than one person to recommend. I don't know of any other
Yeah.
property management within the brokerage.
Well, we're doing it, but we're also going to do it. We'll also make sure that if they ever want to sell, it goes back to you as the agent. That kind of stuff. We're not doing any sales out of that at all. So it's all going to be working that way. Also, if you want to lease the property and have us manage it afterwards, we can do that as well. If you want to just do the leasing part.
Oh, that's
But I'll
perfect.
be glad to send all that out.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, one thing I'm going to show y'all something real quick. So this is the newsletter that is coming out, and I did send it to quite a few of you. So if you want this, I'll send it to you guys. But it will be released January 1st. But here's another thing of a system, okay? Are your folders. So let's just say, like you guys know, like clockwork, we come out with a new newsletter every single month. Some of them look different. Some might have some of the same inserts. But maybe in your folder where it says newsletters, maybe you make another folder within that folder that says inserts. Let's just say that, like me personally, I'm looking at this the way Pauline did this one, and I'm like, I really like this. I actually probably would use this if I were a realtor. I would use this layout every month. And so, like, you want to, again, have all of those things organized before the new year, okay? So just to recap, you want to have like your marketing organized. So there could be things like this with your folders and all the different things. Your CRM, you guys are definitely wanting to go read those drip emails that I'm telling you from Bold Trail, KB Core. They're boring. They need bedazzled a little bit. They do not sound like a real person talking. It's quite literally AI. Okay. So look at those, insert your personality a little bit, talk to people like you would want to be talked to. Okay. If you're feeling fancy and you want to film a video, like I said, a lot of our clients do, you can do that. Okay. Another system, again, y'all want to get set up, or just your communication, essentially, like all the things, like think about what happens throughout your day. Like you get people that are thinking about buying, maybe you get a referral, then you get people thinking about selling, you get people wanting to do whatever with you, right? Like a lender or title. Like have your chain of communication organized. Okay, Miss Linda.
I was going to ask Alan, or anyone who uses both systems, because we have another CRM that's an option. If any of you are using Lofty and Bold Trail, if you could send me your contact, that if you don't mind discussing with me what do you like differently about each one, because I'm considering Lofty in lieu of Bold Trail.
I know
Alan,
Mark Brown uses both, and we have both too.
well, so yeah, so I'll hopefully Mark is okay with me reaching out just to see what the difference is, to see the likes and dislikes in
Yeah.
comparison.
I'll offer Mark up as tribute. So
Okay, thanks.
I really like KB Core. I honestly, I'm just saying from a thing. Hey, Tony.
Good morning. Hey, everybody. Quick question. I know you already talked about it, but I am missing it somewhere because I'm trying to pull it up as we're doing it. When you talk about in Canva, the cheat sheet
Yes.
under the feminine and agent wise, what I'm missing it because it's under the Canva templates, correct?
Yes. And, if it would be helpful, because a lot of people ask me, we might make that its own category. But right now, go to feminine and then the social post, that first block, and then scroll down, and it's at the bottom. Canva.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Here's something y'all might want to think about. I don't know, but we have this thing year in review. So maybe you start putting your numbers out there. I know some people don't want to. I actually have one of the girls making a template. It's basically like it's more than just one page, but it's a spot where you can put the front of the houses that you've sold or the land or whatever, and then put the address right underneath it. And then if you need more than, let's just say, the 3 slots that it is, you would just, highlight it and copy and paste the next line. So, but this is like obviously a one page, or like I sold 75 homes and 16 million in volume, whatever. And of course, like change these photos out. These don't look like your area. So, but yeah, we've got a couple different templates here. So 5 of them so far. Are you guys excited about the new year? I am. I'm ready.
I think we got a lot of great momentum moving into 2026. It's hard to realize it's 2026 already. That's my biggest thing, just because I feel like the year's flown by.
This year did. This month is flying. I'm like, Christmas is in how many days? I'm okay. I'm hosting for 30
Yeah,
people.
yeah. We're 3 days from Christmas.
Crazy. But yeah, you guys, I personally think with politics aside and all the things going on, whatever, I personally think that there's gonna be more momentum in 2026. Like I'm trying to follow, and that's another thing. Like, when I talked about follow your local market, I think, follow the news a little bit too, put your own, things together, reach out to your brokers, reach out to the lenders, kind of get a feel on what they think, because there's nothing worse than when like someone hits you up, it's like, hey, Tony, how's it going? Like, how's the market? And you're like, I don't know. Right. So do yourself the favor and stay up to speed on that. But it's something that you have to spend time like understanding every single day, every single week, whatever. So this looks really nice. I really like this. So I personally, I don't know, I'm just saying I would use this as a market update each month. I know one of the girls, she's working on all the things for January, of course, but this is another thing, like you may, if you haven't noticed, that we do this pretty much every single month. It's just laid out a little differently. So but things like this, if you're looking for events and things going on, like this takes time, but this isn't like time that, you just randomly want to do. You want a time block to fill out all this information, right? So, all right, guys. Well, if no more questions, we'll get out of here. You are my
Thank you
last
so much, Ashley.
Y'all are my last call for
Oh,
the year.
well, see, ended on a bang. So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you, Ashley. I hope everybody can implement this in their business and really make something positive happen out of it. We be any service, please let us know. This is our last mastermind for the year as well. We're starting off in January with our next mastermind. And so love you guys. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Happy
And
holidays.
thank you all very, very much.
Thank you. Bye.